Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Non Sequitur Nerds. Tonight, we'd like to dedicate this podcast to our Reformed Orthodox Rabbi, Bill Clinton. If you don't get that reference, we're going to be talking the Game Awards tonight. As always, though, I'm Tim, joined by my buddy Ian. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, things are going pretty well. It's been a bit of a long week, but
Yeah, it has.
we're winding down the year 2022. I don't know how the weather's been for you lately, but for me, it's
Cold.
been actually it's been cold, but tolerable, I should say. Which for those of us living in the Midwest is kind of hit and miss.
Yeah.
It's we run the gamut almost just like a desert does. It's 20, it's 70, it's 60, it's 50, it's 99.
Yep. There's a blizzard, now there's a tsunami, now tornadoes. Throw a dart at the board. That's what the weather will be tomorrow.
Yeah, pretty much. So anyway, yeah, it's been a bit of a week for us.
Yeah.
But,
Yes, it has.
Looking, it was tried to. Well, for me, it was a relaxing weekend. For Tim, he was trying to light a fire.
Literally. Furnace igniter went out, and yeah, that was fun. I mean, it was an easy fix. It was just a matter of finding the part and then putting everything back together. That was the fun part. Yeah. And it was like below 30 outside, so it was a fun day and a half for me.
Yeah, sorry, buddy. But moving on to happier conversation. So yeah, as Tim said, we're going to be talking about the Game Awards, which was just held just a couple of days ago, as of this taping. There was a lot of big stuff that happened during the Game Awards. There were some good wins, some surprising wins, and some great announcements. Obviously, the Game Awards is a huge place for announcements, trailer releases, and all that other fun stuff that happens. One of the big ones that was announced that admittedly I don't give a crap about, but it's fun to make fun of, is the Death Stranding sequel. So now we have Norman Reedus, who gets to meet us, the Norman Reedus fetus.
He gets to meet us, the Norman Reedus fetus. All right. I hadn't heard that yet.
That's because I literally just made it up.
I like that.
So
you heard it here first.
You heard it here first. That's trademarked. It's mine. Anyway, so yeah, another, for some reason we keep giving Kojima money. The royal we. I haven't given him any money. I don't think ever. I don't know that I've ever actually purchased a Kojima game. Anyway,
you had Zone of the Enders, didn't you?
Never had.
Oh,
never had Zone of the Enders. Yeah,
it's a good game.
But anyway, we keep giving him money, and he keeps. The trailer was pretty, at least.
Right. I mean, and it's an older looking Norman Reedus now, I noticed.
Right. But moving on to other things. So yeah, I tuned into the Game Awards a little bit late. I got in right as Christopher Judge was starting his speech. So I got to hear, Kratos winning Best Performance, which I thought was really cool. Seems like a cool guy. Read a little bit of info about him. Apparently, he wasn't even going to audition for that role.
He actually mentioned that during his acceptance speech. That might have been after you came in. That he wasn't going to audition for it, and he said, looking back now, I'm glad I did.
Yep. So up against a lot of different talent there. Ashley Birch from Horizon Forbidden West, Charlotte McBurney, Plague's Tale Requiem, Man Engage, Immortality, and then even Christopher's cohort or coworker in God of War Ragnarok, Sonny Sushik.
Yep.
Who
plays Boy?
Boy. So congratulations to Christopher and all of the nominees there. It was really cool to kind of see that. But God of War, they kind of almost swept the field.
They did
with all of their wins.
Yeah, they did. I knew I haven't gotten a chance to play the new one yet. Admittedly, I've only partially finished the last one, but I want to because I want to pick up Ragnarok. But I had heard that it was good, but I didn't know it was that good. I mean, to win as many categories as it did it was a great night for Santa Monica Studios at Sony.
Right. So I'm going through and actually counting the wins. So 5, 6. Looks like 6 wins.
Nice.
They they lost. It was. I mean, we'll just go ahead and kind of skip to the good part. It was kind of a toss up between not really a toss up, but it was like a neck and neck run between God of War and Elden Ring. Those two games were kind of duking it out in
Yeah.
almost every category that they were in. So
Well, one thing that, like, as I've noted that, like, those are the two big front runners. Stray was in a lot more categories than I anticipated it to be. Not because it wasn't a good game. I thought Stray was phenomenal, but I didn't think an indie game would get that much notice. So, like, just to be
it was nominated for Game of the Year,
yeah,
Best Game Direction.
an indie game
Right.
was nominated
Best
for Game
Art
of the Year.
Direction. Let's see, what else was it in?
They should have nominated The Cat for best performance.
They should have. Yeah, really
cat
kind of.
was robbed.
It won. It did win for best debut indie title.
Yep.
So it looks like they were on 5. They were nominated in 5 categories, winning in best indie title. So it just kind of goes to show you, like, how powerful an indie games can be. And,
absolutely.
Your wife played Stray, right? I think you said she cried.
Like the ending had her like inconsolable. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. It is really good. Like, she told, like, I didn't get to see her finish the game. I was doing something. I was running an errand or something, but she didn't think she was that close to the end. I come back and she's just inconsolable, and I'm like, oh my God, are you okay? And like, she just tells me about the ending, and even I started tearing up. So I'm like, oh my God, that's But no, Stray was like phenomenally good.
Yeah, and one thing that I do want to say is, and I'm going to go ahead and hawk all of the different platforms here, is as of the game awards, there are several different titles that are available for demo, early access, preview games on all the different platforms. So, go out and check out Xbox Store, PC, Steam, Epic Game Store, PlayStation Store, all of those different places for several of the titles, and you can get demos of a lot of these games.
Yep.
So, it's a great opportunity to go out and check it out.
Now,
And
speaking about games, one that has me interested in it, that got announced at the Game Awards, was Crime Boss.
Was that the one with Mads Mikkelsen?
Yes. Well, Matt, it is to Grand Theft Auto what the Expendables franchise is to action movies. It's all these people that you used to see doing this stuff doing it again, but it's set in the 90s. So you've got Mads Mikkelsen, you've got Danny Trejo, you've got Chuck Norris, you've got Vanilla Ice, you've got Kim Basinger, like,
you've got Danny Glover.
Yeah, I knew I was forgetting one of them.
If Joe Pesci's not in it, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Right,
I'm just saying.
Grand Theft Auto style games, like, I'll play them, but it's not something that I get like super gung-ho fanboy about. They're good games, I enjoy them, but I'm not like a hardcore fan. This one, just in the first trailer, I'm like, I want to get this. I want to get this just for the 90s factor on it, because it looks like it's going to be a stupid kind of fun.
So. Right. It's almost, it seems like it's a middle ground between Grand Theft Auto and Saints Row.
Yes.
And, kind of similar style game that I think I've talked about on here before is the Godfather game that came out on, I think, Xbox 360, maybe PS4 or PS3. I don't remember what platforms it all released on.
I think that might have been an original Xbox game and a PS2 game, I think.
Maybe. I don't remember, but it was a game that, it was a game that my brother and I played a lot, and it was in that style, that GTA style, but it was so much fun. It was a really good story. It was entertaining. But anyway, so that's a game that I thought was very interesting. And then, again, there's so many things that were shown off there. If we look at, some of the previews, I'm actually kind of interested in the Hellboy game that was announced.
I didn't see that trailer.
You didn't?
No.
It's Mike Mignola's Hellboy: Web of Weird. It's a cel-shaded, originally drawn game that's done in the true style of Mike Mignola's Hellboy.
Ooh, okay.
And it's gonna be available on Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. It's being.
I missed that one.
Yeah, I'm. Check out the trailer if you can.
I'm gonna have
to. it's interesting. They show a little bit of gameplay, but it's really stylistic, and
Mhm.
I think it's going to be interesting,
Nice.
to say the least. So
Well, I mean, we're on the topic. I don't want to take up too much of the show talking about the new stuff that's coming out. One thing that I didn't even notice until it was pointed out to me earlier today, there were no Xbox exclusives shown off at all. There were no new announcements for any Xboxes, which is odd because the Game Awards is, apart from like, E3 and some of the bigger Comic Cons, Game Awards is the time to announce your games. And it
yeah,
just,
so I'm kind of.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. That they were pretty much non-present. I mean, they're
I mean, Phil Spencer was there.
Yeah, I mean, he was
I saw
there.
him in the audience.
Yep. And of course, Reggie was there. Classic Reggie.
Well, yes.
He's there every year.
They even made that quip is
Yep.
that he's always there. Reggie is eternal.
He just lives there.
He's got an apartment in the back,
Right.
which is funny because I mean it's funny that you mentioned that about Xbox didn't really have a showing. It's funny because they were at the Microsoft Theater in LA.
That's what I thought was even weirder about it when that got pointed out to me. It's like, so it's in their theater, and like there were games shown off that are for Xbox, but they're multi-platform.
Right.
There were no exclusives. I mean, so, maybe it's because the whole Activision Blizzard merger is still kind of, a hot topic for them, and they're trying to keep a low profile. But at the same time, they have, like almost 30 other studios they've bought in years prior. You're telling me none of them are working on anything that you wanted to announce for next year, right during the holiday season, during the Game Awards when people are going to watch it? I mean, maybe
it's possible that maybe they're going to play. They're playing a gambit here, and
Right.
Going to be making a big play here, coming. 2023 towards the beginning.
Maybe.
And it's maybe like you said that maybe they're kind of keeping a low profile right now with the merger, the ongoing merger conversation.
Maybe.
So, who knows? I can't see Phil Spencer and Microsoft not doing this on purpose.
Yeah, I mean,
for a bigger,
has
for
to be
a greater,
reason.
for a greater reason.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some big announcements coming out of Microsoft and Xbox here very soon.
I hope so. I mean, because that was it. Like, it didn't even click to me watching the Game Awards that there wasn't an exclusive shown off.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, but again, looking at some of the some of the other titles that obviously we were talking about the competition between Elden Ring and God of War Ragnarok. Elden Ring walked away with Best Game Direction and Game of the Year.
Yeah.
So obviously some of the biggest awards of the night. So again, congratulations to From Software and Bandai Namco. From what I understand, very well deserved. I haven't played Elden Ring mostly because I don't like getting my ass kicked constantly.
Yeah, we've both been divorced once. We don't want to pay for that again.
Right, exactly. So
well, I mean, it's the same thing. Like I appreciate that there are people that like those games, but again, I'm gonna if we ever do a merch store, I need to get this on a shirt. I'm not the target audience because that's my catchphrase at this point. But no, I respect that they make those games, and there are people out there who like them. They're not for me though. It's
right.
I play games to relax and have fun. And if I'm sitting there constantly being angry and frustrated because I know that's what will happen, that's not fun for me.
Right.
But the game is like visually, it's beautiful. I've heard some of the music from it. It's got a great score, good mechanics from what I've heard, like solid gameplay, just very difficult gameplay. So I mean, yeah, seriously, kudos to them for winning.
And oft forgotten or oft not mentioned, they did mention it during their award speech though. Written by George R.R. Martin.
Yeah. A lot of people forget about that.
Yeah, for you Game of Thrones fans out there, he will eventually get around to it. I think I saw a headline the other day that he said he's got 500 pages left in the last book.
Yeah. He was busy writing video games, so.
Yes, exactly. And, swimming is a la Scrooge McDuck in his Game of Thrones television show money.
Exactly.
But one of the, not trying to detract from the awards themselves, but one of the games that was announced was Armored Core 6, which is being developed by From Software and Bandai Namco. So this is actually very exciting.
That's one that I, even if that is a game that is like the Souls games, I will still play it because it's a new Armored Core. If I'm getting my ass kicked as a giant robot, I am perfectly okay with this.
Yeah, one of the other things though with just the Armored Core games was they were always turn based and more strategy driven. So, or no, am I thinking of? Sorry, I'm thinking of the wrong game.
I was gonna say, like, what Armored Core did you play?
What was I thinking of? Anyway,
Vanguard
uh,
story?
no,
No, that wasn't.
remember.
I don't. Yeah, because I'm like turn-based. The hell is he talking about?
Yeah, whatever. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong thing. Yeah, I'm probably thinking of the wrong thing. So, oh yes, Armored Core. Sorry, I am getting too. I was thinking Front Mission. Sorry.
Front Mission. That's right. That's right.
They both include giant robots. It's just been so long since I'd played. I think the last Armored Core game I played was Armored Core 2.
I was gonna say, like,
Um,
it's been a while since there was another Armored Core, but I mean, like,
right.
those were always solid.
hmm Yeah, so Armored Core 6 being developed by again From Software, Bandai Namco. So that'll be interesting to see what how that comes out. They've been a very successful grouping for the last for a while now. So
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think I think Bandai is just going, here's money, do the thing.
Yeah, make something. We don't even care what.
Just go on, do the thing.
Right.
Go on. Hey guys, watch, they're gonna do the thing.
Right.
Yay, they did
They
the
did the
thing.
thing. I mean, pretty much. I mean, it's and we talked about this in an episode forever ago of unoriginality in games, how everything's a remake, everything's a reboot. And yes, while Armored Core is a sequel, and yes, while From Software and Namco's Souls-like games are all similar, they do each bring something new to the table, so it doesn't feel like you're playing the same game over and over. So I'm hoping that they can continue that trend with the new Armored Core, make it familiar enough to people that have played the prior ones to make it easy to get into, but bring enough new stuff to the table like they're known for to make it feel fresh and rewarding. That's my hope for it.
Right. Yeah, and that's kind of how that's really what you have to do to keep franchises going.
Yeah.
Right? Is you have to make changes, you have to revitalize and things like that. And admittedly, it doesn't always work, and it doesn't always you don't always endear yourself to the original people. I mean, if we look at that, if we look at the direction that they've gone in some of the newer Final Fantasy games,
Yep.
I'm not a fan of like the real time combat type
Mm.
systems in Final Fantasy. It has a place in games like Star Ocean, but in Final Fantasy, I grew up with it as just straight turn based and true RPG stuff. Admittedly, Final Fantasy VII Remake is really good and it works, but stylistically, it's been completely changed and everything else. So, it kind of it works in that style, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do with Armored Core.
Yeah. As in, speaking of Final Fantasy, that new trailer for 16 looks really good. Just saying.
Yeah,
looks really good.
Yeah, the Godzilla-sized Garuda was terrifying.
Yeah.
So there's that's a thing,
Right.
But while we're on the topic of Final Fantasy, obviously we have to give a shout out for the awards that Final Fantasy 14 won.
Absolutely.
For best ongoing game, which has been fantastic, and best community support.
Yeah.
Presented by Discord. So, Final Fantasy 14, we've talked about it before. It's a fantastic game. Newest expansions, great, very well written, very well crafted.
Absolutely.
And I'm definitely looking forward to where they're going to continue to go. And as they continue to grow and show their their support for the community, then good things shall come.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and they ever since I don't want to side rail too much, but ever since they revamped the game into 2.0 Realm Reborn, it has been just right step after right step. I mean, they've had a few fumbles here and there, but they're quick to correct it. They're quick to listen to community feedback. That is a well-deserved reward for them. Kudos to Yoshi P and everyone at their studio.
Yeah. Which is admittedly seems to be almost juxtaposed to the overall Square Enix mindset as of late. I mean, Enix almost seems to be like, I want all of the microtransactions and money.
Yeah.
They're doing NFT stuff on their merch stores.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, how many different games got announced like a month or so ago? I mean, they had like 10 mobile game announcements.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Yeah. So it's hopefully that Square Enix doesn't get too sink their fangs too deeply into the 14 community. So
Yeah, let's hope they kind of let that be its own bubble. But
right.
going back to the Game Awards though, yeah, there were a lot of things that got shown off. Things that like even games that I know I'm probably not going to play. I'm like, wow, that trailer was pretty good. But yeah, I think the big ones for me are definitely Crime Boss and Armored Core are kind of my two, because like 16 I already knew was a thing. I was already excited about that. But as far as something that was completely new, I think those two are the ones for me. Again, just for the 90s and also for the 90s.
Yeah, I think for me the big ones would probably be Judas as the
That looks very, very
um,
neat.
right. It's from Ken Levine, the original creator of BioShock. So
Yeah, see, and I thought that was a new BioShock at first.
I think it's a
But
spiritual sequel
yeah,
because
it
2K.
definitely looks like it.
Yeah, I think was it 2K Games that has
Yes,
2K Games that has the rights to BioShock?
I
I
believe
think
so.
they
Yep.
retain. Yeah, they retain the rights to BioShock, whereas I don't think Ken Levine in his new studio were able to get those.
Yeah.
Because I believe I actually read about this the other day. I think there's supposedly another BioShock is still in development,
It's
but it's been several years at
yeah,
this
and
point,
we
and it's
haven't heard or
changed
seen
hands.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah, it's changed hands several times. So Judas is interesting because if you really look at it, it's like it's BioShock in space.
Yeah. I mean, it really is.
So, that one I thought was really interesting. And then it's not new content, but the Cyberpunk DLC,
Mhm.
Phantom Liberty, that was teased
We got
because
to
we
see
got
a
to
lot more
see.
about that.
Yep, we got to see a lot more, and we got to see Idris Elba is
Yep.
going to be Idris Elba. Sorry, is going to be playing in it as Solomon Reed.
Yep.
And is going to be kind of one of the main characters in it. So that's really cool and interesting to me
Mhm.
because I love Idris Elba.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic.
Yep.
So yeah.
So and I guess we should probably round out by talking about the elephant in the room. If you don't get my reference at the top of the show, during the Game of the Year presentation, the team from Software was on the stage. Some more of their team came out, along with some young man who looked very out of place. And they're accepting their award and going everything. The music starts playing to kind of send them off the stage, and you hear somebody talking. And for most people on the stream, all they could hear was something about Bill Clinton. The music cuts out real quick and then immediately cuts right back on. And you see that they're all being ushered off the stage real quick. And Jeff Keighley's like, oh, well, this has been an eventful night. Come to find out that they had, during their Game of the Year acceptance speech, they had a bit of a stage crasher who dedicated the win to his, and I quote, Reformed Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton.
Yes.
Yeah. Apparently that this kid has a history of trolling in very publicly seen events. As of now, from what I've heard, he was detained for questioning. There's no charges or anything that have been filed that I'm aware of yet, but he was detained for questioning. Yeah, so he knew what he was doing.
Jeff Keighley had tweeted right after the show that the kid was arrested. However, that was incorrect. He was actually just detained.
And transferred to a LAPD facility.
Yes.
Yep.
But I don't believe he was ever officially arrested. So yeah, a little weird.
Yeah.
But what are you gonna do?
I mean, it's whether you agree that Elden Ring should have won Game of the Year or not. The fact is that they did, and they had their big moment kind of spoiled there by that. So I mean, I don't know if he was trying to protest something. I don't know if he was trying to make some kind of statement, but without any clear, what's the word I'm looking for? Without any clear motive, it looks like he was doing it just to do it, and that really kind of soured their moment,
Yeah. Same time, I'm in no way condoning what this kid did.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's terrible. The little underwear stain should be banned from a lot of different public events for some of these things.
Right.
But I mean, the at least he didn't interrupt like them mid speech. So they were Software
done.
was able to go. They were able to go through their things. They actually were leaving the stage when the kid stepped forward through them and then started his thing, and they kind of looked around confused, like, "Wait a minute, what?"
Right.
So they at least got to make their statements.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
There's at least that going.
That is true. So.
So.
But yeah, it was an eventful night.
Yes, it was. A lot of interesting things that came out. Congratulations to all the nominees and the winners.
Mhm.
You can obviously, you have the internet. You're watching or listening to us right now,
Yeah.
so you can go out and check out what was out there at the Game Awards, and the winners. And again, go and check out your favorite platform, any
Mhm.
of the game store, app stores, or the like out there, and you can see some of the major announcements and
Mhm.
play some demos for some of the games as well.
Yep, absolutely.
Um, also, want to round out and say again, thank you to Rocksteady Games. They have a new game coming out, Justice League, or
Mhm.
Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League.
Yeah.
This will be the final performance of Kevin Conroy as
Yeah.
Batman. They did do a kind of reveal trailer, an announcement trailer for that, and I don't know about you, but when I heard the Kevin Conroy voice and the speech, I got chills.
I honestly, I teared up a little bit, you know,
I did too. I'm
just
kind of getting a little
yeah,
misty eyed right now.
yeah,
But they did dedicate that trailer, and hopefully they will dedicate the game to Kevin Conroy.
yeah,
So his final performance as Batman, but he will be forever immortalized as our Batman.
absolutely.
So well, trying to keep it. Well, not trying to down the mood, but congratulations again to everybody that was nominated and won. I think we'll go ahead and wrap up there. So, as always, thank you for listening. We appreciate you tuning in or watching us. You can catch us um, on all the different platforms. We are hosted on Anchor.fm, which is powered by Spotify. And then you can also catch us on YouTube.com/non-sequitur-nerds, Facebook.com/non-sequitur-nerds, and Twitch.tv/non-sequitur-nerds.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I think that'll go ahead and do it for us.
Think so.
Yeah. As always, we thank you for joining us. And for the Non Sequitur Nerds, I'm Ian.
And I'm Tim. Night, everybody.